What up, though, everybody, and welcome to Lions Nation Unite. My name is Spencer Raxter. I appreciate you tapping in. Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe on the YouTube channel. Also, go out there and drop a follow for Lions Nation Unite on Instagram, on Facebook, and on X. We would greatly appreciate it. And if you want some great merch, like Vikings suck, Packers suck, Bears suck, new What It Means to Be a Lions Fan t-shirts, and plenty more, make sure you go to lionsnationunite.com, where we are running a deal of buy two, get one free. So make sure you hit that up right now. Buy two, get one free only at lionsnationunite.com. Now, we've got a lot to talk about, and as you guys know, throughout this offseason, Jeremy Fowler of ESPN has been making it his duty to get the knowingest of ball knowers' opinions on different players throughout the NFL. He's getting top 10 lists of every single position from NFL executives, scouts, and coaches. So the guys who draft the players, the guys who look at the players that should be drafted, and the guys that coach the players when they're already drafted. I would say guys that know all of these players better than pretty much anybody else. So these lists hold a lot more weight than your average Pete Prisco or PFF nonsense. These are actual opinions by guys that follow the sport and that are really, really tuned into everything that's going on. So I hold these lists in a higher regard than most of the ones I've seen out there. And the newest one to come out has been about the wide receivers. Now, we know Amon-Ra St.Brown is a back-to-back first team all-pro wide receiver. And let me do one thing real quick just so I get it right. Yes, in the past 3 years, he has been over 100 receptions, over 1,100 yards, and in the past 2 years, he's hit double-digit touchdowns. Now, this has been a good enough performance to give him first-team All-Pro recognition over the past 2 seasons, but let's see where NFL's coaches, executives, and scouts have him rated. That's at number 6, and it says here, his highest ranking was 3rd on this list. His lowest ranking was unranked, which that's a choice to leave Amon-Ra St.Brown off of a top 10 receiver list. I mean, some people deserve to breathe, I guess. But here's what they say about him. Last year, he was 7th on this list, so he bumped up a spot. It says, some reporting moments stick with you. When I visited the Lions training camp 3 years ago, Jared Goff told me whenever he's in trouble in the pocket, he thinks to look for only one receiver, and we as Lions fans know that is Amon-Ra St.Brown. 36 regular season wins and 340 receptions later, Amon-Ra St.Brown continues to be Goff's first thought. While forming one of the league's best tandems, he enjoyed 129.4 passer rating, one targeting St.Brown, whose 81.6% reception rate is easily the best among wideouts with a minimum of 75 targets. So you see that he's got the best hands in the league. He doesn't have the size, but he has these high-level traits: feet, hands, instincts, run after the catch, competitive toughness. An NFC executive said St.Brown, who famously watched 16 receivers get drafted ahead of him in 2021, is the NFL's only player with 100 receptions and 10 receiving touchdowns in each of the last 2 seasons. So not only did Amon-Ra see 16 receivers get drafted ahead of him in 2021, he now has 5 placed ahead of him in these rankings. Now, should Amon-Ra St.Brown be higher than 6 on this list? Yes, I do believe so. I think there's pretty clear cut of who the 2 best wide receivers are in the NFL when you look at Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. After that, it gets a little wide open. Tyreek Hill, who was 3rd on this list, seems to be slipping into a kind of, I don't know what's going on with Tyreek Hill, but it's not working out in Miami. Some of that, though, does attribute to his quarterback play. When you look at Tua Tagovailoa and Skylar Thompson throwing him the ball, obviously Jared Goff is a much more reliable option than either of those guys. But whatever. You put Tyreek Hill over him because his innate speed and his insane high pointing of balls and contested catches and things like that for guys. Sure, whatever. CeeDee Lamb was another player who was put ahead of Amon-Ra St. Brown, and here's what he was ranked fourth right after Tyreek Hill. He says, Lamb has checked many boxes required by an elite receiver. He had a banner season in 2023 with 135 receptions, 1,749 yards, and 12 touchdowns. He has no true down years. He's a perennial all-pro first or second teamer, and he can produce through adversity, including multiple injuries to Dak Prescott and a bad running game. So you see here, obviously, CeeDee Lamb had an insane season 2 years ago where he had over 1,700 yards and he led the league in receptions. But I don't like giving the caveat of, oh, he fought through adversity. Oh, he did this. Oh, he did that. But this is what this list seems to be. They're not really looking at just the concrete production or concrete, accolades like Amon-Ra St. Brown being, a first team All-Pro the past 2 seasons. They're looking more at the pure skill, size, and athleticism of these wide receivers, and I think that is where Amon-Ra St. Brown gets a little disrespected, because he is not the guy that is going to blind you with his speed or is going to jump up over 6 dudes to pull down a Hail Mary or is going to just explode with his insane athleticism, but he's got the best hands in the league. He's one of the best route runners in the league, and he is by far the most dependable wide receiver in the NFL. I don't think that Amon-Ra St. Brown's, I don't want to say it like this because it sounds bad, but lack of athleticism or explosiveness compared to these other receivers should keep him down in these rankings. Another wide receiver who is put ahead of him is A.J. Brown, and here is what they say. His highest ranking was 3. Lowest ranking was unranked, which is, again, kind of crazy. He is at 5. Last year, he was at 6. And they say it's odd to see a top 5 receiver here, tied for 43rd in league-wide targets last season at 97. But those numbers for Brown were more a product of a run-heavy Eagles offense and didn't affect his high-end ability. Philly was 16-1 while averaging 31.5 points per game while Brown was in the lineup last season. Without Brown, the team went 2-2, averaging 18 points per game. Those numbers include Philly's playoff run. He's still awesome. A veteran AFC scout said he comes up big when you need him. He's still incredibly strong and fast enough, a nightmare to tackle, maybe a tad slower than he was, but that's slight. Brown averaged 3.3 yards per out in 2024, second highest among wideouts with a minimum of 75 targets. He's been so good that Eagles general manager Howie Roseman has paid him top-end receiver money 2 occasions in 3 years. So, again, these are the legacy awards, and they are we know he had a down year, much like Tyreek Hill, much like CeeDee Lamb. We know they had down years. We know they weren't as good as they have been, but we see the explosiveness and we see the athleticism. Like he says right there, oh, he's just so strong and so fast and so big. And yes, this is a game made for strong, big, and fast players, but Amon-Ra St. Brown is getting some shade here, I think, because he's not this athletic freak of a wide receiver that you see out there when you look at the guys ahead of him. It is A.J. Brown, it is Tyreek Hill, it is Jamar Chase, it is Justin Jefferson, and it is CeeDee Lamb. And I think they're looking at all of these guys and saying they are bigger than Tyreek Hill. They are stronger than Tyreek Hill. They can jump higher. Not Tyreek Hill. They say they are bigger than Amon-Ra St. Brown. They are stronger than Amon-Ra St. Brown. They can jump higher than Amon-Ra St. Brown, and they can run faster than Amon-Ra St. Brown, so they have to be better than Amon-Ra St. Brown. And whatever, if that's how you want to grade how good a wide receiver is strictly off of his athleticism and not off the production that he's had over the past 2 seasons where he's been a 2-time first-team All-Pro. He's been the lead of the best offense in the NFL, and he has been the best security blanket that any quarterback could ask for in the league. He has the best hands. He is one of the best route runners in the league. He is always where he is supposed to be. His durability is off the charts, and he shows up and he does his job better than 95% of the other people in the world that do his job. So, yeah, whatever. Okay, you got these guys over him. Cool. Amon-Ra St. Brown will still continue to stack 100+ catch seasons because he is that good, because he gets open, he knows his spot. Him and Jared Goff are on such a different wavelength when it comes to where they're supposed to be and where they want the ball. But I'm not freaking out over this list. I do want that because, like, all of these guys, you can hear the argument, right? There can be arguments made to why Tyreek Hill is better than Amon-Ra St. Brown. There can be arguments made to why CeeDee Lamb is better than Tyreek Hill. There can be arguments made to why that A.J. Brown is better. Why do I keep saying Tyreek Hill? Why all those guys are better than Amon-Ra St. Brown. CeeDee Lamb, A.J. Brown, and Tyreek Hill. And I won't be mad if you put them over him. I'm not, that's not a hill I'm going to die on because there are so many good wide receivers in the NFL. There are so many physical freaks, insane talents, athletic monsters at the wide receiver spot in the NFL that if you want to put these guys over Amon-Ra St. Brown, whatever, I just know Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to mix your best cornerback off the line. I just know if it is 3rd and 4 and the Detroit Lions need a first down to keep the sticks moving and to keep the drive alive, they're going to Amon-Ra St. Brown, and there is rarely anything you can do to stop it because, like I said, best hands in the league, one of the best route runners in the league, and him and Jared Goff are on a different level of connection. And let's not even get started his yak abilities. Once he gets the ball in his hands, man, that guy is slippery in the field. So Amon-Ra St. Brown, a little bit of disrespect here, cashing in at 6 on this list. But listen, I'm not going to get nitpicky. All of the guys ahead of him are very, very talented receivers, and I can hear arguments for all of them. So this isn't like something I'm willing to die on, although I personally would have Amon-Ra St. Brown at 3 or 4 on this list. But I'm not going to freak out over that. Appreciate you tapping in. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to Lions Nation Unite, and give us a follow on X, Facebook, and Instagram. Don't forget to go to lionsnationunite.com to get some great merch right now. Buy 2, get 1 free on t-shirts. So go check it out right now. It's Lions Nation Unite.